Thank you, President, Commissioner, colleagues. Even though Mr. Poczobut was released from custody, he still faces charges of libel, which seem to target him as a result of his journalistic activities and as a member of the Polish minority population. And he's sadly not the only one. The situation of human rights defenders, civil society, representation, journalists and generally speaking the situation for citizens in Belarus is seriously deteriorating. Freedom of expression, including online, on the internet, is under real pressure. And sadly this is also taking place with the help of EU-based companies who have exported technologies to Belarus to facilitate this repression. This kind of aiding and abetting of human rights violations through technologies made in Europe should end. It's indeed the last dictatorship in Europe and we should act to turn that around and to make it a democracy as soon as we can. The EU should give a clear signal to the Belarusian authorities that they are not welcome at the Eastern Partnership meeting in Brussels at the end of this month. EU engagement with Belarus is not subject to strict conditionality and contingent on the commitment of Belarus is already subject to strict conditionality, and the Belarusian authorities should commit to respect to human rights and the rule of law, as they stated themselves in the declaration of the Prague Eastern Partnership Summit of 2009. Meanwhile, we should step up our engagement with Belarusian civil society organizations and promote intenser people-to-people contact. Simply put, any and all restrictions on freedom of association, assembly, opinion and expression in Belarus need to be lifted. Respecting these freedoms are among the very basic cornerstones of democracy, which, ironically actually, the Belarusian authorities have committed themselves to respect. We may have to consider additional sanctions and indeed step up our efforts to ensure that the EU sanctions in place are enforced so that they are not just a paper reality.